lovelies, it's Stephanie from Oh You Lovely, where we carry the largest selection of wood flowers in the United States. Welcome back to another tutorial, and this is the wrap-up of the color story. We've been working a couple weeks on this now. Here is the color story, just to bring you guys back to this. This was picked by Instagram story, so if you want to sometimes have some input on what we're doing over here on YouTube, make sure to follow us over on Instagram too. We post stories pretty dang regularly. I can't say that word very well, but there's the color story. Here are the flowers, and oops, sneak peek, a spoiler. We're gonna play with these, but we're gonna do again with a little twist. We haven't done this in a while. I was kind of worried about the color story a little bit being too like out there, but this is all gonna tie together. It's gonna be pretty whimsical. I am wanting to go slightly elevated elegance a little bit with like a twist, little bit of bling to it, and also super minimal greenery. So yes, we are making a bouquet. I don't know that we'll use all these flowers, but maybe we will, since there's not going to be really any greenery. So let's dive into what we've got to do first to prep this all to get it that elevated. What? Elevated, elegant look. Elevated elegance. Yeah. Okay, let's jump into it. Elevated elegance. Why did I pick those words to have to say over and over again? We'll never know. I have these, a couple different variations in my stash. I don't remember why I got these and for what project, but we had them. I thought I had some silver ones too, and I feel like silver would have actually been instead of gold, which is interesting because I'm typically now a gold person versus a silver person, but nonetheless. And they've got little pearly bits to them. Just a lot of bling and shimmer. So what we're going to be doing is I am going to be gluing them into the centers of the flowers. Not all of the flowers, but some of the flowers. I'm even thinking I'm going to put them on the thistle spots. So if you're going to do something like this, a couple tips. You can find these pieces that don't have pin backs on them, but if they have pin backs too, that's completely fine. It works just as well. Actually, sometimes the pin backs work better because you can, if it's a pin, you can open up the pin and slide that metal piece into the flower as well for additional stability when you're gluing it on. I also find that flowers, especially something like our cabbage rose that has this nice flat poppies are a good one too. Mona Lisa, things that have like a little bit of a inner flat center are a great place to be able to slide in a little zhuzhing of the flowers. Now, like I said though, we're gonna try with some of the thistle centers. Is that gonna be a mistake? I don't know. I haven't tried it before. So let's start gluing all of these little bits and bobs onto all of these lovely flowers, and then we will get to building the very minimally greenery bouquet, which I'm actually terrified about because the greenery is kind of like the buffer in between. It helps make everything kind of like squint and it looks perfect, versus when you only have, you can see a lot more of the misshaping if you are going for a perfectly round bouquet, which I don't know that I am. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, I gotta get out of my head. I gotta stop like freaking myself out. It's gonna be lovely. It's gonna be lovely. Say it with me again. It's gonna be lovely. All right, let's do this. Okay, we're gonna do this a little bit different. Originally I was like, we're not gonna use a lot of greenery. Well, we're still not gonna use a lot of greenery, but we're gonna do something a little bit different. So I've got our large, sometimes I refer to it as wide ruscus. We're gonna use this as the starting. Now this does not look very round, but then I found this in my stash, which also has the same kind of yellow undertones. You can see these like brighter parts, which pulls from our color story, from the original card. So I'm gonna flank these, and this is gonna bring in our shape a little bit. Okay, so now we've got a little bit more of a, it's still a little wild, but not as much as it was a minute ago. And then I also have these in my stash, and they go with the color story, sort of. But I don't know by adding those, if it brings down the elevated elegance. Why did I pick those words? I don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna add those right now. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to, but we might. We might change our minds at the end. I don't know. I really don't know. Don't know where my head is at this point. But I do know that I want to make sure all of our jeweled ones are included. Now the thing about the jeweled ones, the one thing I'll note is you can use some sort of other glue besides hot glue, because when you're playing with metal, hot glue, and teeny tiny little spaces, accidents can happen and fingers can get burned. So be careful. What you also can do is to add a dab of something like, what is this guy's stuff called? Super glue. Go figure. From Loctite, there's this one, E6000, all of those would work too. When you're doing that, however, it needs to cure, so you're gonna wanna be able to have it like sitting maybe upward and not sliding in gravity and things. So what you can do if you want is to add like a little bit of E6000 and then a dab of hot glue, so the hot glue holds everything in place until the E6000 fully cures, and then she ain't going nowhere forever and ever, amen. I don't have a lot of, I don't know that I've ever had anything come undone with the hot glue that I use, because I use super, super high intense hot glue. If I was using low temp glue, that might be another story, and basically because the low temp glue, for whatever reason, can warm up in like warmer temperatures and activate the glue into being liquid form, and then things get loosey-goosey and things are falling off. And that's why I always use super hot glue, even though to the detriment of my cute little fingers every once in a while. And as I'm talking, I'm separating out these flowers. If you're wondering what I'm doing while I'm chit-chatting with you, I'm making sure I've pulled out all of my bejeweled flowers so that I make sure those get entered into the bouquet. And we're gonna put these in first, because this is really the main thing. But I also don't want just like eyeballs looking at me, so we definitely wanna make sure we mix in the other flowers, which, oh, found another jeweled one. Hold on, stand by. Jeweled, here. Oh my gosh, I'm creating a mess. Non-jeweled, here, okay. All right, so we're gonna add all of those somehow into here. I did want this to be flower heavy. I'm also gonna count all of these real quick so we know how many flowers we've got going on, and see if we put all of them into the bouquet. So let's do that right now. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 18 jeweled flowers. Remember that? 18 jeweled flowers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 non-jeweled. And 18 plus 14, to do the math in your head, I can't. It's not that hard, Stephanie. 8, 12, 32. 8 plus 4 is 12. Yeah, 32 flowers. Hopefully I got that right. Otherwise, I will never, ever, ever hear the end of that. If I got it wrong, let's edit the right answer over here. It's 32 flowers. Okay. Anyway, let's get going with this, as I'm questioning all of my adult skills in life. 1 flower in. a whole bunch more to go. Possibly 32 flowers. We'll see. I'm gonna do some triangles. I mean, I'm working with the, I'm gonna go style by style since we have different groups of these different styles. And so when I say a triangle, what I mean by that, I know I have, yeah. So we've got a triangle of 3 there. We're gonna get another triangle there. And I have, I think, just for whatever reason, 4 of the big guys. But we've got a bunch of the little ones too. And then the color stories too, I'm gonna kind of mix and match the different, like these two are very similar. So I'm gonna put one over on the other side. Now this is gonna be really loosey-goosey at first. So we don't have enough stuff in here yet to kind of hold everything in place. Things are gonna shift and move, that's okay. It'll tighten up the more flowers we've added into the piece. Gosh, these color transitions are so dang pretty. Let's see if I have any more. I don't think so. Oh, one more. So those will be a little bit more, when I'm putting them in, I'm probably gonna give them a little bit more thought of where I want them to go so that I make sure that the teal is pushed throughout the entire piece and not just in one particular spot. Remember how I said I was gonna like go flower style by flower style? Well, that went out the window real fast, didn't it? It did. I just noticed here I'm having more of the darker tones than a lot of the lighter tones over there, so I want to make sure that I'm mindful of that as well, especially when we're working with, so like this is a lot of the light pinks on this side. I don't know if you can see that. And then we're going to balance it out with one of the darker purples. I'm also going to try to tuck in some of this greenery so we don't have so many flyaways on the outside, which that works really well. There we go. It's coming together. It's coming together bit by bit. Your hands might start to hurt when you're doing one like this in particular. I am holding this pretty dang tight. If you need a break, you can grab a zip tie and zip tie the bottom of this and then take it and kind of look at it, adjust it with the zip tie. It will keep everything kind of in place, but you can still easily move things around too yet at that point, so which is nice. It's very dark and heavy kind of in there, so I'm going to bring in a lighter color there. And then we've got one last, and this pink is very similar to this one, so we're going to do kind of a mirror, and if we have one over there, we'll bring one over here in a similar position. Okay, I mean, if you wanted an all bejeweled bouquet, you're done. However, I want to at least add some of these fun 3-toned flowers that have all of the different colors that we were working on with in there. I want to make sure I get those in there. And then I've got some just solid pink and solid blue I think I want to add. I don't think I want to add any solid purple. I think I've got enough purple in here, so we're gonna probably not use those. Okay, now she's getting filled in, which is great though, because like now I see like there's a hole there that I can slide in a couple different, yeah, a couple different flowers. Okay, so with the pinks, I'm gonna make a triangle of sorts. So I've got 2 there, so I'm either gonna put one, I feel like I've already got a pink there, so we're gonna put another pink one over here. One of the smaller pinks. Now I gotta loosen my hand up a little bit while I'm doing that, because we're getting kind of full. I loosen up my hand so that I can then slide other wires into the batch of flowers we've got going on. Okay. So we've got this really lovely lighter, all kind of cream one, which will help soften a little bit because this is a little bit heavier on this side. So we're gonna add that one in there. Oh gosh, the textures of this is just lovely. Okay. I think then all that's left, and I'm gonna get a zip tie because I want to adjust these a little bit. Basically, like putting some flowers down, bringing some up, something like this. Like this one's kind of tucked under, these are up, and just adjusting. Like this right here, we've got a real like divot. Do you see that divot? So kind of bring different things out. Okay, so I've got this blue. So we're gonna play around with finding other spots to put the blue to make sure we tie in. And again, triangles. Except for where I did the pink on that side, I'm actually gonna put the blue over here. And probably right around this area. And then I just wanna see. So I've got that one and the two-tone there. And then I got a little two-toned one. This is kind of two-toned there. So I think I'm gonna put the little two-tone, sorry, I'm like all over the place. But I think I'm gonna put the little two-tone one right here. Yeah. Ah, goodness. Okay. Oh, she's coming together. She's definitely coming together. Let's get a zip tie. So I have 4 flowers left. I don't think we're gonna be adding those at all. If I did, I think, oh, I say that and I'm like, oh, maybe. I feel like, let's just see. There's actually not a lot of purple there. There's quite a lot of, no, I feel like that darkens it down a little bit and I want to lighten it up a little bit. Okay, and then here is pretty dark. So let's grab the other pink one. We're going to add that in there to break that up just a smidge. I'm gonna adjust them in a couple different ways. Okay. All right, let's get a zip tie. So 2 flowers remain. So what are we to? 32. 32 flowers in this bouquet. Zip tie has been put on. Now, the best way to kind of figure out where you can start trimming off wires, if you choose to do so, is to take 2 hands, one at the base of the bouquet, one below that. Anything below here, you can clip off if you want, or decide what kind of length you want. I don't have many wires left, but I am gonna trim them off. So I'm gonna just take, I like to always have like some sort of like guide or navigation so that everything's kind of even. I'm gonna take the base of the one greenery because it's pretty thick and I'm not gonna try to cut through that, but I'm gonna cut all my other wires around that. Also, just for giggles, I tried to put this in, hated it. Hated it. Okay, so now let the fun begin and the discourse happening within the comments, because you guys are gonna tell me which ribbon you would have used, because I kind of like both. So we have hot pink, a hot pink moment, or we have, we gotta give it a little bit of a tail so that we can visually see it the same way as we did the hot pink. A teal ribbon. Now, we didn't use a lot of teal in here, but we do have teal. We have a decent amount of pink and purple represented into the color story along with the green. So it would make sense for me to use the teal so that we pulled it through more, but the hot pink is calling to me. So the hot pink is what we're gonna do. It'll be super simple. I'm just gonna tie it and wrap it around. Well, you know what we could do? So we can use both. I'm going to first wrap the whole thing with the teal. And then I'm going to have just one single little long tail of the hot pink. There, now I made everybody happy. Aren't we happy? we're happy. Let me know down below in the comments. Are we happy with that, whatchamacallit, compromise? We're all about the compromise. So I am going to keep the zip tie on here. I'm going to be wrapping enough of a ribbon around that I'm not going to be poking my little hand on that. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. You can tape it off with tape it off instead of using zip ties. I just really, really like the zip ties. Okay, let me go wrap this up and we'll see what we think. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. It is glam. Glam, glam, glam. It is like Barbie if I've ever seen a Barbie bouquet. Gosh, I'm loving this so much. It's so pretty. Sorry, I'm having a moment with said cute. Oh, and the velvet on top of it. Oh man, elevated elegance. Oh, look at, I think I said it right that time. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. I could see like other little trinkets or like at the end, like a pin at the bottom or something to tie in with the, oh. It's so pretty. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It came together. Like I said, I've always been a little bit nervous about this particular color story turning a little too clownish and a little circusy, especially because of all of the different like fun little combinations of dyeing that we've done in the last couple of weeks. It always sounds weird when I say that. When we were coloring the flowers. I mean, technically we're dyeing them, but every time I say the word dyeing, I feel like I'm saying something else. Anywhoosies, that's my problem, not yours. If you're loving this channel, can't get enough, want to know the next time we post a video, which is typically once a week, make sure to subscribe and ring that little bell so you're notified every time a new video goes up. Leave me a comment down below. Are we happy with how this turned out? Did I knock it out of the park? Did we find a good compromise between the teal and the pink? I'm liking this. I'm really liking this. All right, you guys, I will see you next week for another crafting tutorial. Most likely, we're gonna probably be dipping into the fall and spooky season. As I'm filming this, we are in August, so it's time. It's time for my spooky heart to be able to do some spooky projects. I've got some plans for my house and my yard and other things. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. And yeah, all right. Have a lovely, lovely day. I'm Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely. You, my friends, absolutely lovely. Bye, guys.